welcome to this edition of Promoting Instructional Excellence. Today I'd like to talk to you about what's at stake for our students with the upcoming election. In this show, I'd like to provide an overview of the 3 questions that will be on the ballot this November and how each of those questions and the outcome of the questions will affect our students in the future. We've entitled our election information Stepping into the Future because that's what we are trying to do with this election, along with a number of things that face us over the next few years. We're looking at 2018 and beyond. As you can see by this graphic, these are our students, and all of the materials that you'll see that we've produced around the information about the election have pictures of our students as we move forward. This year we have on the ballot on November 5th 3 questions that I'll explain to you in a little bit more detail. But as you can see, we anticipate by 2015 that we'll be having a discussion about our next buildings as we continue to grow. In 2016, we have a levy election that expires that was put in place for technology. And then in 2017, we have a larger general election levy that expires. What's important to know as we think about stepping toward 2018, we have not come back to you as an electorate to ask for additional general fund dollars in 10 years since 2003. Our first question on the ballot is a renewal for the existing levies that are expiring. We have a levy that expires this year, and then we have a smaller levy that expires next year. We did not, if you were in the community 10 years ago, we did not come to you 2 years in a row for a levy. After we passed the 2003 levy, there were some changes in the law that added a second levy the second year. We do not want to come back to you 2 years in a row, so what we are proposing is to renew our one levy for 10 years and to renew the second levy for 9 years, that way allowing them to expire both at the same time. This renewal is general fund money that we've had in our budget, and it continues existing programs and existing services that we've allocated through the funds that come from these 2 levies. Our second question is an increase, asking you to increase our general election dollars. It's important for you to know that question 2 is contingent on the passage of question 1. So if our renewal question is not successful, question 2 becomes a moot point. And so in order to move forward with the addition, our renewal has to be accepted and passed. The new money, the $6.9 million, was arrived at due to the needs that we've identified in the past, but also in our survey last spring, our community told us that they would be willing to support an increase of funding at that level. I think that's important for you to know as a community that our board valued your input. Even though we have greater needs, since we've fallen behind over the last 10 years with our funding from the state, which hasn't been able to keep pace with the pace of inflation, we wanted to value what you told us, and so we're asking for that $6.9 million. It will be spent in 4 areas: to enhance our safety and security of our buildings, to provide staffing back into the buildings that we reduced last year through our $2 million of budget cuts, to enhance our technology infrastructure and our wireless network, and to take care of our potential deficit reduction and deficit spending that we're involved in, that unless things change at the state, we'll be going through a significant reduction in the next few years. I will be giving you more information about each aspect of the additional funds and how it would be spent, but I wanted you to know those 4 areas. The other thing that's important is again, we asked in the survey, we mentioned the needs that we had, and you told us as a community that these areas were areas that you were in support, and so I think that's important too, that we are crafting the needs that we have based on your input as well. And finally, we have a question 3 that is not contingent on the other 2 questions, so that question stands alone. This is a bond question. Bonding is different from a general levy, and the old adage is the general levies are used for learning and in the classroom, and the bonds are for buildings or land. So what we are asking for is to consider approving an additional $8 million that would allow us to purchase land for our future building sites. It would allow us to purchase 80 acres, and it allows us to be proactive and to utilize your taxpayers' dollars more efficiently. If we can purchase land now, it will be less expensive than in the 2015 framework when we're needing to build since prices are certainly not going down, and we believe we can be more efficient with what you allow us to spend as far as your tax dollars. As you can see from this slide, these are 3 examples of what the impact would be of our questions that are on the ballot. The first thing that's important for you to know is that in the tax bill this year, the legislators gave all of the homeowners in the state tax relief. So if we just look at the middle column of the $250,000 home, that if our renewal did not pass and our additional questions or the additional revenue didn't pass, there would be a savings per month on that home with the new tax laws of $18 per month, or about $218 a year. If all 3 of our questions passed, it would mean the difference between last year's tax rate on the $250,000 home and the new tax rate would be $6 a month of increase, or $72 a year. And we realize that there would be a tax savings, but I think it's important for you to look at the change from last year's tax bill to this year's for school taxes. We're just talking for the school portion of your tax bill. It would be the $6 a month. Again, we believe that that is reasonable. It is also based on what you told us as a community that you would be willing to consider supporting. The other aspect, on our website, we have a calculator for you to go to and to put your exact home value in to find out what that change per month and year means for you as an individual homeowner. If these questions are approved this next fall, we believe that will enhance our instructional excellence, will improve the safety and security in our schools, will improve the services that we offer to personalize learning for kids, will improve our technology infrastructure, which also goes back definitely and ties to our instructional excellence, and will support our future facility needs and as we grow as a growing district. So in review, we'll have 3 questions on the ballot. The first is a renewal of existing levies that have been in place since 2003. The second is asking for additional general levy funding. And it's important to remember that that question is contingent on the passage of question 1. The third question is a bond question that is for land, to secure land now for our future building needs. Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this session informative. For more in-depth information, we will be holding a number of public meetings to go more in depth on the 3 questions and to give you as much information as possible to help you make your decision as you go to the polls on November 5th. The meetings that we've entitled Parent Universities for this fall will be held. The first one will be Monday, September 23rd at Eastridge High School at 6 p.m. The second meeting will be held Wednesday, September 25th at the District Service Center at 10 a.m. in the morning. The third meeting will be held Monday, September 30th at Woodbury High School at 6 p.m. And our 4th Parent University meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 2nd at Park High School at 6 p.m. Thank you again for your support of the South Washington County Schools, and I hope that I see you at one of our Parent University meetings this fall.